Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Just Saying Football with Jack and Sean. I'm your host, Sean Gannon, alongside my partner, Jack and Nicholas. We're here to bring you news, notes, weekly updates, and game analysis of your favorite teams from around the league. If you don't have the chance, go check out our website at justsayingfootball.com and follow us on Instagram at justsayingwjs for article and video updates. Jack, week 2, Thursday night football. Still feels so wonderful to say after so long.
It
We have
does.
your New York Giants are heading off to division rival in the Washington football team at FedEx Field. Break down that one for us.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty excited that the Giants get to play on a short week. They have something to prove after losing to Denver last weekend. It was a pretty tough loss. Just giving up third down after third down for them. Would kind of like to see them be able to, kind of take advantage on with their defense of this offense that doesn't have Ryan Fitzpatrick this week. But it is going to be tough. They have some really good players on the Washington offense. We have Terry McLaurin. He's seen so many quarterbacks and he's always been productive. Taylor Heineke got some experience last year in the playoffs for this team. So, and got some experience last week. Antonio Gibson, another guy to watch out for, and Logan Thomas, but I would like to see the Giants offense start moving. Last week, we saw them pretty much be stagnant. And, they do, if Daniel Jones is going to play well, it's going to be against Washington, but this short week does scare me.
Yeah, short weeks are always tough. You never know what's going to happen for your teams. I don't know if you mentioned it, Ryan Fitzpatrick, man, out 6 to 8 weeks with a hip injury, I think, and that's a brutal hit for them. Maybe an opening for Cam Newton to get signed. Who knows? But Taylor Heineke coming in, he was serviceable, I think, during that game. Didn't make any mistakes, but they didn't really ask him to throw the ball a lot. Only 15 dropbacks, 11 completions, which you want to see, 122 yards and a touchdown. It's really all Antonio Gibson, seeing 20 carries for 90 yards, like you mentioned. What I'm really worried about, I think it's going to be the key what I'm worried about for the Giants, and what I think is going to be the key matchup of the game here, is right down in the trenches. I'm thinking that offensive line of the Giants going up against that defensive line of the Washington football team. They struggled with protection for Daniel Jones last weekend, and it was shown in the game. It was shown in the scoreboard, and it was shown with how the defense of the Broncos were able to get after them. And they have a pretty good front seven. I think that the Giants are not able to protect Daniel Jones. If they're not able to get Barkley going, I don't know if this is going to be the Giants' game to win. While I think that the Giants' defense is really, really good, and will make some stops, I think you're kind of looking again at like another 16-13 game or 16-10 game out of them, where no one's really scoring just because the defenses are playing so well. But that Giants offense was playing like last week, man. Chase Young is going to get 2-3 sacks.
I know, and I'm really nervous because they have more than just Chase Young, but Chase Young will on a team just scare the crap out of you. And I really think that, Jonathan Allen, Deron Payne, Montez Sweat, they're all going to be going after Daniel Jones, just trying to clog up the holes for Saquon. And like you mentioned, it's going to be one in the trenches. If this offensive line can get moving, get Saquon a little more than 10 carries. Last week was kind of a transitional thing for him, but I'm hoping he's well rested enough that he, is really prepared for a game like this where he's got to face a tough front seven on a short week. I would like to see Saquon get a little more involved. One thing I liked out of him was even though he only had 26 yards, you still saw, the shiftiness. I would like to see less moves out of him and more, just straight runs where he's able to, still create space, but after getting to the second level of the defense. And it's going to be a really tough challenge for them here. The Giants defense is really going to have to step up, but I want to see this Giants, passing game step. We saw Sterling Shepard last week, 9 targets, 7 catches, huge touchdown. MetLife went crazy. And I really think the one thing is we got to find out who is the other guy here. Darius Slayton got a couple of big calls last week. Kenny Golladay was here and there, but I want to see, they're paying Kenny top dollar. You just gave him the bank. I would love to see him get, over 10 targets in this game and really see what he can do now that he is back and healthy, honestly.
Yeah, when you pay big money for a wide receiver like that, you definitely want to see big plays. And although his catchability was great, you want to see a lot more targets. You're hoping that him and Daniel Jones kind of put together that rapport. And looking on the other side of the ball, man, I'm looking at Terry McLaurin and Taylor Heineke, and I hope that connection continues to be strong. Only one touchdown this game, and that was to Logan Thomas, an up-and-coming tight end, I think. I like him. I don't know. There's something about him I really like. But I think this could be a really fun quarterback and wide receiver matchup, for the Giants kind of figure out how involved they want to get Kenny or how well is Sterling Shepard going to do. And then on the flip side, Terry McLaurin and Logan Thomas. I am going to take Washington in this game. I'm sorry, bud. I want to root for the Giants. I didn't love what I saw on offense, and I think that not the Giants, I think the Washington defense is just slightly better in this game and more prepared. I don't think Daniel Jones has shown anything better. The thing that bothered me last week when he kept doing was only looking towards one wide receiver, never going through his progressions. I think that's going to be an open house field day for the Washington defense. Again, it's a lot of sacks.
Definitely. Yeah. I mean, the Giants, I think that when they are going to win a game, I think it always has to be, I assume that it's going to be against Washington. Daniel Jones has not won a lot of games as the Giants quarterback, but he does beat Washington. He has won his last 5 games against them. So the one real thing I want to see is if they can get that, all these players involved, all these playmakers, really back to where what you see it on paper as, where they have all these weapons for the Giants. I want to see them kind of have a little bit more of an aggressive game plan, because they're not going to be able to win games playing the way that they did last week.
So it sounds like you're also going Washington.
If the Giants have an aggressive game plan, I think that they can win this game, only because I don't believe that Tyler Heineke is just there yet. But man, I'll go opposition to you, man. I'll root for my Giants, but I am very, very nervous about Daniel Jones.
No, I would be too. Quick question before we get out of here: Antonio Gibson, Saquon Barkley, 2 great running backs. Which one's gonna get more yards in this game?
Oh, I think Antonio Gibson. I think it's going to be time for him to get the rock. I think that, J.D. McKissic's probably going to be involved a little bit more, just to give Tyler Heineke that, comfortable person to just kind of dump pass off to. But 20 rush for Antonio Gibson, that tells me that they are ready for him to be the workhorse back. So I'm going with him. What about you?
I'm going to go with Antonio Gibson, more just because, again, the Giants offensive line and gave Barkley a lot of looks last week. I don't really know what their game plan is for this weekend with him. Like you just said, short week. You nursed him in week 1. Do you nurse him again week 2 just because you don't want to risk that playmaker getting an injury to his knee like that? Yeah. So I'm going to lean with the guy who just had 20 carries and 90 yards.
I agree.
That's all the time that we have. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening.
Yeah, check us out every week. Check out the game Thursday night. Giants, Washington football team, Thursday night football. Check us out, justsayingfootball.com. Just saying, no GWJS for all your Instagram updates. And check us out on YouTube for our videos, Just Saying Football. Thank you for all watching. Enjoy the game.